What is up, TCT community? How is everyone doing on this beautiful Monday evening or Monday morning, depending on where you are located? We had an amazing day of trades inside of the TCT trading community, especially in the morning. Unfortunately, some setups a bit too early, but I hope you guys had an amazing start of your week. Bitcoin has been going up and down, but yet again, still inside of the range that we've been in for a few days now, or I think it's coming close to like 2 weeks. Many different posts are being made about final phases, topping structures, people, giving arguments for the fact that, hey, we're just getting started, and just many different perspectives on the market. So we're here to give an unbiased look on the market, straight up, looking at it from an objective standpoint. And we're going to talk about what we're going to look for, our expectations going forward, and just some nice charts in general. It's just like us, the boys, hanging out, doing some crypto as usual. And we're joined by Wyckoff Insider. We are reunited on the live streams. We've been going separately.
Bro, XRP will go to 10,000, man.
Yeah, that's bro. I saw that video and I lost brain cells watching it. I genuinely lost brain cells because I genuinely could not tell if he was joking or not. Like I couldn't tell from that video. There was no humor behind it. It was straight up like conviction. I'm telling you right now, if XRP hits 10,000,
bro, it would flip Bitcoin. So what are we even talking?
It wouldn't just flip Bitcoin. It would flip the entire crypto market combined and multiply that by a 10x.
No, it's possible, man. It's possible.
But it's possible. But guys, I hope you guys already know at this point that obviously when you're going up, you're going to get more bullish news, because you actually should be happy that there is bullish news when we're going up. Because if everyone has the same target, at a certain point, price will not even reach that target because there's no one buying up to that target. Because if everybody knows, hey, we're going to go to 120 grand max and BTC is at 110K, who's going to take that bet? Who's going to buy Bitcoin for a 10% increase? So it's actually good for us that they are making those posts, because it's going to get the normies in, and it's going to give the normies the feeling that they are not late. Okay. And that's actually a perfect introduction into what I wanted to start off with this live stream. Because I made a post today, right? I made a post today about people attacking high profile traders when they talk about final phases starting out. So I just have the Bitcoin chart right now on the logarithmic scale, and I'm showing you the investment period and what I like to refer to as the final phase, okay? And you can see right here that from the bottom of the market in Jan 2015 all the way up towards that top, we lasted around, 1,064 days. And what I have done is I went on the monthly, and from the low up towards that first high time frame, good monthly close above your previous all-time high, have I dragged that green box. So it's from the low up towards that first aggressive monthly candle close above your previous all-time high. And then from there, I've grabbed the final phase as the candles that followed afterwards towards that all-time high. And I've done the same for here in 2018, from the low towards that first high time frame monthly close above the previous all-time high. And I did it again right here. So this is not a convincing monthly close above the previous all-time high. That was truly a fake break of structure to go in towards that reaccumulation range that lasted 200 days. And only now did we have an aggressive monthly candle close above the previous all-time high. And when you look at it this way, I think it will become way more clear for the people when I talk about us entering the final phase, because I don't know when you guys decided to join the crypto markets this cycle, but the smart money, the people that actually buy at the lows and sell at the highs, they have been in the markets for over 700 days. So when we expect a top somewhere in Q4, like a generalized top, we can get, multiple topping formations on the way towards the actual top and the actual start of the bear market. But you can see that all this time you've been in the market as a smart investor for over 700 days. Right here it was 850, and right here it was also over 700 days, also 730, and we're seeing the exact same right now. So when I refer to the final phase, it's a phase where we look for high time frame topping formations to slowly meet all our exit confirmations to then start scaling out. Yes, we have way more room for upside. The Bitcoin dominance can go down. ETH BTC can go up. Alt season, total 3, total 2, they all have room for upside. But that doesn't mean that this isn't the final phase. And when I say final phase, I don't mean that in the coming 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, this week, the topic is going to be created and there's no more room for upside. But if you look at it from the actual fact when we had the investment period versus the final phase, you can see that the final phase doesn't really last longer than, in this case, 214 days. And right here, you had 270 days with like a double top formation. So it's like many things can happen, but we are entering the final phase. And you can also see, and that was a very funny thing I noticed when drawing these boxes on the chart, that you can see the final phase kind of went from this bullish expansion where you can see like my square is very small and very vertical to kind of more a box. It turned from a vertical square into truly like a box, and it's slowly going to get more stretched out, I think, because you would expect diminishing returns over time, even though obviously there will be people who talk for a super cycle or an exception because of an ETF whatsoever. But I do think it will look something like this. This is not based on also like a topping prediction as to where price should top, but in general, from a timing perspective, this could be it, and you could start your final phase in here. And altcoins tend to push up aggressively when you are entering the final phase. And the way I was viewing it, especially last cycle, is that they kind of do it on purpose. So they push the altcoins up extra hard. Obviously it has to do with money flow and money rotations and where liquidity flows in the market from high to mid to low caps. But you can also see it from a perspective that they start to distribute Bitcoin at a certain point, and to kind of hide the fact that they are distributing Bitcoin, they are making your altcoins pump to kind of blind you away from the facts. And that fact is that Bitcoin is starting its distribution. I'm not saying Bitcoin is starting its distribution right now. There's no confirmation. There's not even the first deviation. So way too early to tell, but you can kind of view it. And I thought it was a funny perspective that they pump your altcoins, so you kind of get blinded from the actual reality, which is that Bitcoin is distributing, because normally when Bitcoin is distributing, your altcoins tend to catch up. ETH BTC goes up, total 3 goes up, Bitcoin dominance goes down. It's one big trade. Okay. But I think when I show you guys this chart with a tiny explanation, you'll realize, yes, we are entering the final phases. And yes, the final phases can end way longer than you think a normal final phase ends. It can be up to 200 days, okay? But I do believe we'll have some sort of an earlier top followed by a next big push up to manipulate more people. Doesn't have to be a double top. I'm very curious how they're going to play it, how they're going to manipulate it. But you tend to see one big correction, which is not the bear market, to kind of give people an idea of what a bleed is and what pain is. It's not that it goes up, 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 and then boom, it just goes down and that's it. They typically have some sort of a correction in the meantime that hurts people's feelings before they actually go into the bear market. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting chart, just showing you guys when I refer to final phases, it can literally end up to Q3, Q4, 2025. But is where you have to pay close attention to the candle formations and the topping structures. And I also made that post because people were coming after you, Mr. Wyckoff Insider, when you when you were talking
Bro,
about the final phases.
what the hell was that? I was making a post from, yo guys, we are entering the final stage. People were saying, what do you say? We have so much room for upside. But guys, I'm only preparing because, like the composite trader is saying, we are already in a bull run for 3 years. So the last year is the final stage, and you don't want to be in the market anymore when you get that big correction in the final phase for a reaccumulation for the last manipulation push up. But I will talk about that after Lars is done.
Yeah. And the reason why you definitely don't have to worry right now on this pullback, like things can be so simple. You don't even have to understand high advanced quality TA skills. If you just look at topping structures, you can see that every top that was created followed by a monthly candle wicking out the previous candle's high. So you can see the monthly candle high, next candle wicks it out. Right here, and next candle to wicks it out. And it's just looking at candles, right? I think even here, it started off right there, boom. It started off, you can go in the lower time frame. It started off like this. And obviously, this is like in the earlier stages, so it's going to move way more explosive. But right here, like this is like way too big to even call taking out that high. Like if you want to see a good topping structure, it's like you'll have to surpass this high, which is the range high that we're currently having, right? Because it aligns with the range on the lower time frame, but then it's like represented in an easier formation. You can see right here, we took out that low right there, took out that low. That's when you start to move up. So it's like there's truly nothing to worry about right now. We're literally chilling. I can switch over to the chart. You can see we had a local Model 2 distribution that ended over in like a more extended Model 2 distribution coming back for that supply. I was talking about it today in the live stream. But in general, just keeping the chart simple and clean. We have a range. We got some demand at the bottom, and then we got some highs at the top. And that's basically it. That's literally all we have. It is somewhat of a higher time frame range. It's kind of on the 18-hour. And for me personally, with my expectations going forward for Bitcoin, it depends on how long we're going to be in this range. Okay? So let's say we just go up from here. I believe that maybe we have a tiny SFP, but then we can actually continue higher. And then from there, we start a new topping range, right? That's something that could happen. And obviously that will be on the higher time frame, not this tiny range. But if we move up quicker and we get a tiny deviation of 100K, I do think we can just surpass 100K, go to in between 100 and 110 to kind of put in a top, and from there start a high time frame range. Or if we start ranging for crazy in here without showing signs of an accumulation, and then we deviated, I'll reassess because I'll think that then if the timing is aligning, that this could be like a bigger distribution range. But it truly depends as to how long price is going to be ranging in between the range high and the range low. The longer we range without showing signs of an accumulation, and then we take the high, the more cautious I'll become. If we just go up from here and we get an SFP, I do think we can end up going higher, but obviously expectations and we trade confirmations. But those are just, ideas that I have in my mind because it's normal to have somewhat of a stopping point, Like this is a daily range, but it's the first daily range that's created when you have an actual move above your previous all-time high. Obviously, I'm not counting this high. That was truly a deviation. This is my first aggressive move above the all-time high in price discovery. Last time was right around here, right around 20K, right there. So, you also had one range in here that ended up being a reaccumulation range that pushed price higher. And then you went into your topping structure. So I would like to have one range that ends up breaking higher that puts you in the topping structure. But time will tell, if this starts creating a crazy distribution, I'll also reassess. But I would be surprised because then you have such a massive accumulation to get one push up to immediately go into distribution. Like if that happens, I would think that the purpose of the distribution could be to backtest this right here and then push up higher for more manipulation where then this goes into like a crazy high time frame distribution, with a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Bro, I
Like
would love
that's
that.
what I would
Like
think.
the big range. Like that you
Yeah,
then
yeah,
create
that would create that massive range that ends up having crazy deviations, which obviously will be new all-time highs on each deviation, and then from there go into some sort of a distribution. But it basically comes down to the fact that you guys have to enjoy the ride. Fun times are ahead, but don't get blinded by the FOMO. Okay, don't get blinded by the green numbers, blinded by the FOMO, because after all, you may have only joined the bull market since this range right here, but there are a lot of traders out there, probably the traders with bigger money than you, that have been entering in here, and they have been in it for 700 days. Okay, so this is when they start to look to take profit, because that's the general concept of trading. You buy low, sell high.
Let me see what's the chat saying.
Can you trade any time frame as long as you have a range? You can trade any time frame. Question is a bit, I don't know how to interpret the question. Can you trade any time frame as long as you have a range? You can trade any time frame in general. Don't need particularly a range. XRP is going to flip the S&P. Facts.
And a banana
Study this.
is,
Hey, Mr. Wyckoff, study this.
He knows. Go, man. He knows. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Guys, if you know what I posted yesterday, you know. In my macro analysis channel, you know. Like, that's technically speaking the biggest thing you need. So he's right. VIP knows. What you have as input, brother? Can I add you to the stage?
Yes, you can. Let's go. Guys, a lot of colors are on this chart, but it is basically price is either way ranging, so going sideways, and when it's going sideways, it's either way distributing or it is accumulating, because the market makers want to push price up. So in these stages, it's either accumulating or distributing. So right here, it's accumulating because it's going higher. And then you create a new block. And in that block, it is accumulating or distributing. So
yeah, you could say
price,
you could say like every range has a purpose, because no range keeps on ranging forever. So depending on the deviations, you'll know what the purpose of the range is going to be.
Yeah, exactly. And price is ranging for 80% of the time, because if we only go up, for example, or only go down without those stupid ranges in between where people are getting screwed over, it's too easy for retail to just long. So they would just long and they keep longing and they keep winning. But no, you do this. Let me see. You go like this, then you create a range. People think, oh, it's over, accumulation, retail sells, and they go higher. And that's the name of the game. So we need to see when is a range accumulating and when is a range distributing. So past cycle, we had this first high, this first higher time frame range, and the early top. And how could you see this coming? Like, we were uptrending, so you pull your range from high to low. We never took the initial range high. We keep on deviating the range. We never took the initial range low. We keep on deviating the range high. So this is in distribution. And when you see higher time frame distributions like this, and then you confirm it in the third leg, so the TCT members know how we confirm our distributions. Is working the exact same as on the lower time frames, and that's time to get out. So right now we are creating some sort of a range, and that is normal because we pumped. Let me check, from the low to this high, we pumped 102%, guys. So it's normal to go in a range for what to do, either to distribute or to reaccumulate for higher. And if we distribute here, like Lars is saying, I expect that we get a range mitigation for higher. But like too many people are getting in profits now. I see. So I actually downloaded TikTok again to search for those coins on TikTok for the early coins. Bro, I'm seeing 1,000 people only posting about XRP. That XRP goes to $1,000. So I'm getting a little bit cautious with my positions because I know that is the FOMO they need for extra liquidity. But yeah, we are just creating a range right now. It is again gonna screw a lot of people up, like the same we did here. A lot of retail sold at the lows. That is exactly the same what will happen here. And yeah, you just need to be ready. Because I said on Twitter that we are entering the final stage. Why? And why do I want to exit before the first stop? So this was your first stop last cycle. And I remember this drop. Like this was an, let me see, from the top to this low. It was a 55% drop on Bitcoin, guys. You don't want to be in any altcoins at this moment because you would be down 80%. Especially we are in lower cap on-chain coins. Those coins basically get rug pulled. when Bitcoin does a 55% correction, those coins get rug pulled. And I'm not even joking. So you need to be careful. And we want to exit when the confirmation is there. There's no confirmation right now, but we have our initial range high, initial range low, initial range high, initial range low. It's too early to tell what's gonna do, but you need to pay attention. So what is your take on this, Lars?
100%. Like you don't want to be in a 20 mil market cap project if if Bitcoin decides to reject 55%. I actually found something pretty interesting on that top of Bitcoin that you were just talking about when you rejected 55%. Did I add myself to the stage? Let me add myself to the stage. There you go. So, and it could be something to look for going forward as well, that when right here, let's go back to a regular chart. Right here, if I add the total 3, because that made me think, right? That made me think as to why they might pump the total 3 chart whenever you have Bitcoin distributing to kind of hide the fact of what is actually going on. But you can see right here on that first top, like, look how obviously the people that have been studying the mentorship on YouTube of the TCT schematics, that if you see something like this, man, you guys are all out. Okay, you should all be out. But what you had was a Model 1 distribution where you have the range high, deviation 1, deviation 2, each deviation going higher than the previous one. And on the low time frame right here, you actually got that break of structure. So that got confirmed right there. This was actually a TWT schematic. So the people with the private lectures understand that this is a very high probability short schematic on the high time frame, which is just absolutely nuts, where you actually ended up coming back for this extreme supply right here. But that's where I wanted to make my point, because you can see right here, the 16th of April, you had a confirmed distribution. And then what price ended up doing is coming back for supply, where your Model 1 goes over in a Model 2. But when you came back for supply, the total 3 chart made a new all-time high. So your alts were going absolutely nuclear on this bounce, while Bitcoin made a lower high because it already confirmed a distribution. And that's that key indication of like, yo, get your ass out, okay? And I think that Divergence can play a big role going forward. I don't believe we had it. I don't believe we had it right here because you didn't have a Model 1. You had just already had a Model 2. So it was the same here. But on that Model 1 and then that back test, you can see that divergence from Bitcoin and the total 3, where, you know, people are just disgustingly aggressive longing this dip, because obviously if Bitcoin dips already around 28%. That was a 28% dip. The newbies who are just
slowly buying a dip that keeps dipping. Oh my
yeah,
god.
exactly. So the newbies, they will, let's say they enter right in here, it's a pretty reasonable area to enter if you're retail, around 50K. You're max bullish, you made a higher high, you're in all-time high territorium. It's like, yo, price discovery, we're gonna go to 100K. That means they would enter right around here. This entire distribution range, right? This entire distribution range on Bitcoin, they have just seen their portfolio go up and up and up. And maybe they even wanted to scale in more. Maybe they even didn't get the perfect position that they would like because they thought we were going to get a pullback, which we didn't. And then the moment we correct right here, you see the first proper drop on the total 3 chart. So from their perspective, this is like the ultimate buying opportunity, right? It's going to be the ultimate buying opportunity. They're going to say, hey, we're getting a back test, if they can even put like a back test line on the chart. They're like, we're getting a perfect back test, and this is the buying opportunity because they have just been in the market when all season was about to start. This was literally me last cycle. I remember me thinking the same. It's like I entered right around alt season, had no proper knowledge, followed the wrong people, and I just saw my portfolio go up. So when I saw that first drop, I was like, this is the most golden buying opportunity because we're going to go to 200K. And then they're going to be right. They're going to be right for a moment in time right here. They're going to be right. And then the total 3 makes a higher high and they're going to feel like absolute trading gods. But then you have that confirmed distribution. There is a tiny delay with the total 3 chart. This dumps and then they end up buying the dip that keeps on dipping, not only losing their profits that they currently have unrealized, but also realizing actual losses by buying the dip. And that's how they get wrecked. It's not that retail is arriving and they are in an immediate loss. It's when retail is winning that you should be worried. Okay? But you can see the psychology that like if you enter when Bitcoin is at all-time highs, you could catch the exact entry of all season and you could be up tremendously. And then that first big drop is like the perfect buying opportunity for them. And then you're going to get another drop and they're going to be like, another buying opportunity. And then they get absolutely wrecked while Bitcoin confirmed the distribution. But I thought it was very funny seeing actually the divergence. Seeing the divergence in the total 3 chart that just disappeared from my chart for some reason. But seeing that divergence in the total 3 making a higher high right here, while Bitcoin is making a lower high after already a confirmed distribution. And the reason why I like this so much as well is because it kind of confirms my, or not, it makes my worry less about isn't everybody going to see the top incoming? Because like sometimes it's hard when you're already a bit more advanced and you understand TA and you understand timing. It's hard to place yourself in the mind of a retail person, the mind of you when you just started out in the crypto markets, right? And it's like, I'm like, okay, if Bitcoin has a distribution, is not everybody going to see the distribution and just cash out? You know, it's like, isn't it going to be like obvious? Or sometimes I wonder, like, are we even getting a distribution? Because wouldn't that be just too obvious? You know, even though we need to have some sort of a distribution because that's the way the markets move. They can't just randomly dump price. You will see some form of manipulation. But then I think to myself, okay, but if Bitcoin is confirming a distribution when your altcoins are just pumping, nobody cares. Nobody is going to give an F about what your distribution is saying. You're just going to get laughed at. They're going to joke about your distribution going to fail. And then they're going to get wrecked eventually. Like this truly makes me not worried about people catching on the distribution because they're just going to be focused on their altcoins making higher highs. And then they truly are not going to care about Bitcoin confirming any signs of weakness on the chart. Like truly, I truly believe that. When I saw that and I was like, nah, what am I even thinking? they're calling for a 10 grand XRP. They're not going to care about my distribution. So yeah, right now it's too early to tell what's it gonna do. I'm hoping for one more push up, then some topping structure, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. The good is still to come regarding Bitcoin dominance and all the juicy stuff. It's like it makes sense. It makes
There
sense.
are not too many people thinking that the good is coming. I don't want to be a bear, but like just.
It's like, but you have to realize that for some people, the cycle just started. That's truly the case. For some people, the cycle just started. When you've already been in the trenches for 700 days,
I'm done with this cycle, man.
Yeah,
Fuck
you
this
are
cycle.
like, guys, he's been texting me. He's like, bro, I don't want to hold any more crypto. Yeah.
I just want to cash out and lay on the beach with a coconut for a week and then get back at it.
literally, bro. It's it's funny the difference, especially if you compare you now versus you last cycle, right? And I don't blame retail. It's the price you have to pay to master this, right? It's the price you have to pay for entering the crypto markets. You have to fuck it up. That needs to happen.
Look at this comment.
Needs to happen.
When retail, bro, retail is here. Believe me, retail is here. XRP pumped 4x in a few days. Retail is here.
Yeah. So what we were talking about this right before we were about to go live. Hide all of these.
Wyckoff Insider, take a vacation and come back fresh, bro. I might even do this because you're
in Dubai,
bro. I'm in my tower behind my PC. No, let's go.
You know what's the funny thing, or not? It's not even funny. I don't like it. Okay, I don't like it. So we had the total 3 chart, just as an example, okay? And the people that have been following us for a while know that we absolutely fucking smashed this range. Like we were spamming this accumulation, okay? We were spamming the accumulation, safe to say.
Whoa, one step back. Tell them about the distribution you had on your chart. You don't know anymore?
Which distribution?
Mm-hmm. In May, you played that one.
Oh, this one. Yeah, bro. You know what's funny? You guys can search up the total 3 chart in my search bar on X. But yeah, we were talking about this distributing, and we had this amazing liquidity curve building up right here. And I think we also had a range in efficiency. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. That's all I'm going to say. But we were talking about price having a rotation back down to here, which is exactly what happened. But the funny thing is, right, the even funnier thing is that I said the moment we swept this low right here, having a 1 and then a 2, potentially, starting some sort of an accumulation model in here, I told everyone that, hey, a top that took 60 days to form. It was around 60 days, yeah. So a top that took around 60 days to form is not going to be reversed in a single day. My exact words that I wrote in this tweet when we were going up. A top that's 60 days to form is not going to be reversed in one single day. And then I think from the moment we put this in, on day 60, we confirmed that third tap from a Model 2 perspective, but you can also say Model 1 going into Model 2. So it's just like, bro, it's so clean. It's so clean, right?
Just do not fade the charts, guys. They will tell you everything you need to know, and just put the emotions on the side.
On the side, exactly. And learn also from the sentiment. Learn from the sentiment that they used to dump price. Every move down here was on some sort of bearish macro news. So if you have just basic pattern recognition skills, you'll realize that, oh my God, they use news to manipulate price. Surprise, surprise. Call me conspiracy theorist. Okay? So The point I was trying to make here regarding this accumulation range is that from the low, right? From the low, where's price? Okay, so from this low to this high, your total 3 market cap, it pumped 130%. Okay, that's on the total 3. That's like adding 600 billion in altcoins, right? Which is absolutely insane. 600 billion. But then the total 3 is going up, adding 600 plus billion. But the problem is that our micro caps haven't particularly been performing that well. You would think 600 billion gets added to the total 3 chart, a few million, a few hundred mil potentially can be allocated to some high conviction plays, right? But I feel like that the reason why the total 3 chart has been pumping that hard is not particularly because your Andy has been going up or your Oscar has been going up or whatsoever. It has been more because your XRP has been going up and your Doge has been going up. So I think that these motherfuckers have been completely or causing the total 3 chart for the majority to just have a nuclear run. Because you have to realize when these things are pumping, these are projects adding tens and 20 of billions of dollars in market cap in one run up. Like, someone can do the facts. I don't have all the exact facts, but I think Doge, bro, XRP, how much billion in market cap did XRP add in this run up?
75 billion.
75 billion, guys. So this didn't even go up 700 billion. This went up 600 billion. So more than around 15% of the entire 130% pump has only been caused by XRP. You know? So I feel like which is something I could have traded better, you know, and where I also learned from that majors do pump like crazy, and that will eventually flow into low cap projects and degen plays. But don't underestimate majors. XRP and Doge did numbers, and not even XRP and Doge. You also have projects like Cardano, who also pump. But then again, it's $1 billion project that's pumping 300%, adding billions in its push up. So the main push up as of now from the total 3 chart has been caused by majors adding billions to its market cap, and not particularly your low caps. But at the same time, it could also be designed that obviously you're going to go from Bitcoin to high caps, to mid caps, to low caps. And it could cause people to switch their bags and chase narratives, chase high caps that already pumped, you know, causing them to miss out on the mid cap moves and the low cap moves. Because that could also be general. We should check it out from the previous cycle. But this move up has been mainly just XRP going absolutely nuclear. Like, that thing doesn't stop right now. And Doge right here going also crazy. Crazy. Absolutely crazy, bro.
Elon is back chilling.
I'm still a bit sad about that trade.
Bro,
oh, yeah,
we were telling about it for like weeks,
bro.
And then we didn't enter like a few million position. Fuck, you know.
Yeah. You know, I think everyone will have one of those trades where they missed out on like a crazy X, because that was a crazy trade. The thing is, I nailed that short. That bothers me the most. Oh, not even that. What bothered me the most is the fact I was in that short right here. Oh my Lord. So I was in the short that took us towards the long. I was in this distribution short. And my initial plan, right? My initial plan was to take this distribution short into an accumulation long. And that's also what I posted. So I targeted that low right here. And I was looking to take this distribution into an accumulation long. And then I remember us talking about it right here. I was talking about it with some people, and they were trying to immediately long the breakout. But I was like, yo, guys, be careful. You know, we have an SFP. It's a fake break. It's not a break of structure. It's an SFP. And then we did end up having that proper break of structure, but we didn't get any confirmations on this back test. And I told the people, yo, chill out, be patient. You know, it has the chance to put in a higher low and a higher high somewhere in here. You know, it doesn't have to bounce immediately from here. We're going to wait for those low time frame confirmations to get a high time frame target. Those were my exact words, like the people from the community know. And then I didn't really pay attention anymore. Like I just didn't pay that much attention anymore. And we came for this 30-minute extreme demand. And obviously the expectational order flow was a higher low for the higher high. And like that was D low, bro. Like that was D low,
man.
But bro, I did get messages. I got 2 messages from 2 TCT members who literally, bro, they turned 5 figures into 6 figures, and they held. There were 2 members. Many people took this trade, but there were 2 members who literally held towards the all-time high as fucking degens, bro. And they turned 5 figures into 6 figures, and now I helped them reallocate some profits into like high conviction plays, because I made a post about it today. I am all about stacking small wins that compound over time. But that doesn't mean that you cannot have a massive trade once in a while, right? That doesn't mean you can have a massive trade that can just give your account that crazy boost, scale that account, create a crazy buffer, set you up for life sometimes. Especially regarding this trade and the period that we're in with the crypto cycle, is like you turn a few 10,000s into a few 100K, and you reallocate that into high conviction plays that can do a 5x minimum. You got yourself $1 million, you know? So I'm not going to name their names because I don't have the permission, but bruh, absolutely life changing. So that makes me feel better. Okay, that makes me feel better because at least or at least someone from the community managed to profit off this like crazy. But I have to be honest, guys. I shared that trade setup. This was my target. Like this was my technical target right here. I did not expect to go this crazy until I realized that people were talking about this massive like bullish triangle forming. I don't really look at that, but maybe I don't know what's the correct chart for XRP. Qcoin, like which has the most data?
Just the crypto one, but you need to remove the T. Yeah.
Oh, so we're not even at all-time highs. Oh, I thought it was an all-time high. So I wasn't really paying attention to the fact that we were creating this triangle right here. A lot of people were posting about this. Obviously, a lot of people posted about this after it already played out. But yeah, this is that squeeze up, you know? How long did this take? 2,500 days. And you know what's also funny? Obviously, it's not, the same as on XRP, but ETH is forming some similar structure. ETH is forming some similar structure right here, where on ETH, we can see that we kind of have the same right here. And we're currently rejecting from that trend line. I hate saying rejecting from a trend line. That's not my style of TA. But yeah, we do have this compressing formation going on, we had a low time frame distribution in here that you actually talked about yesterday live on the public stream, which in my opinion is just going to cause like a small rejection before we're actually going to blast out. But I am expecting a very quick move towards an all-time high the moment you start breaking that high. So this is interesting. It's interesting. It looks pretty clean. It looks pretty similar. Obviously, this one goes way, way, way back, but it is just that same compressing formation. Hopefully, we get some sort of a accumulation in here that we can actually long and then run it back to new highs for a potential generational entry. Because the way I view it, right, these pullbacks that you're getting, these are pullbacks which are like on the verge of, they're pullbacks on altcoins that are on the verge of breaking out into price discovery. So those pullbacks should be looked at from a generational entry opportunity where you can potentially find that swing long that you can take with you for the rest of the cycle. Just like with XRP. And XRP is obviously a little bit of an exception because that thing just went nuclear. That thing went nuclear. What's the chat saying? When retail understands market cap, we're doomed. Literally, bro. 100 billion a month for XRP. It's crazy. What's the best time frame to find the range that you trade? Brother, if you just start studying the mentorship on YouTube for free, it's on my YouTube for free, you'll find out that it's not related to a certain time frame. We use everything. Try the others. This is actually pretty funny. This is actually pretty interesting because I haven't really looked at the others chart. I looked at it a while ago, like an actual while ago. But like this is a TA that I had. We were in this distribution. I remember me sending this to you. This is like TA I did like back in March, like literally back in March. Obviously, I don't
turn it into a reaccumulation, like locally.
Yeah, here. Do you mean this reaccumulation or this reaccumulation? It's kind of both.
Yeah, like the local one, bro. If you didn't get that, oh boy.
Yeah, so it's like, even though technically speaking we have a distribution, I'm not expecting this distribution to fully hit its target. Like you already came into demand right here, which was your extreme demand. So that could have already been enough, right? Because you came in there, you broke structure back to bullish, you back tested this monthly order block, which was like a monthly demand chain, very strong after having a break of structure right here. So following the structure from the top down, you can go on the 3 month and you can see, hey, we're making a higher low for a higher high. And then you can go on like the monthly and you can see, okay, what is the structure from the top down looking like? Lower highs and lower lows right here. The moment you break your red market structure back to bullish, that confirms that the black market structure is going to continue itself with putting in that higher low for the higher high. Okay. It's basic market structure rules, lecture 1 from the TCT mentorship on YouTube. So, this would have been the easiest POI to look for swing longs, which will then obviously correlate to looking for swing longs on your altcoins. And I think looking at the chart quickly, you had some form of an accumulation model coming into that POI. Yeah, there are multiple ways to look at it. You can say this is the cleanest way, in my opinion, drawing it from here. Right there. Drawing it from here. And having your 1, your 2, your 3. But you can argue that it also started down here. Or even down here. And then on the high time frame, that's probably 1 tap. And then you have some sort of A1, A2, and then A3. Just a higher low. So definitely some sort of an accumulation model. In my opinion, starting from here was the cleanest way to look at it. The easiest way. Because you also came back for that extreme demand right there. And higher you go. So yet again, you see another chart doing the same thing prior to putting in an aggressive move. It happens over and over again because it's what needs to happen. And you may wonder, Why is the other's dominance respecting smart money concept? Because it's not a pair that you can trade. It's a representation. But that's exactly the reason. It's a representation of your total market cap, excluding the top 10, meaning your altcoins, and those altcoins do have accumulations and do have smart money involvement, and that is represented back into this chart. Okay, so that's why it still works. Sometimes people ask me, but USDT dominance doesn't have a trading pair to trade, and I'm like, yeah, but it's what it represents. What's it's correlated to or anti-correlated to that does have that factor. I am really curious though, because just looking at it, doing some TA on it, I do see a good resistance level above us, which could be interesting to pay attention to. Let me have a quicker look. Like in general, this is a massive supply candle, but did we front run that right here? Yeah, look at that. Like that is extreme supply. That is extreme supply, 100%. What's this negative fib saying? It's a bit higher. Yeah. What's this fib doing? Fib from high to low is around that area. Even here, more refined. This is definitely an area I will be watching, guys. 100%. And even if you surpass that, you still have resistance up there. Can I check the volume profile here? Or is it going to just show it all the way down here? Oof. Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely put an alert here. I don't know how correlate. I have never really used this chart. I don't know how correlated this chart is to actual like a crypto project pumping or dumping. Let's have one quick look. Let's have one quick look. Let's do an ADA. Nah, ADA went like crazy. Let's do a normal one. Engine. And I'm using a project from last cycle to kind of get. Does Engine still have a chart? Oh, Eng. Boom. Obviously, that chart doesn't have proper data. And USDT. Bruh. ADA. Okay, let's compare. ADA did go nuclear though, so maybe I have to use another chart. But what I can see is that I think it was kind of useless right here. No. Oh. Just put on the logarithmic chart. I do that all the time, bro. This one. Okay. Logarithmic. There you go. Chart struggles. Okay. So right here, when this actually moved down, ADA didn't even move down that much, but it could be just because it was like in its early stages. Right here, when the bottom was in, that caused a massive pump. And then right here, when this top was in, that was also a good top. And then right here, when the top was in, that was fairly late. That was fairly late. The top here was Jan 2022 on the other's dominance. That could be though, because I remember that. I want to compare another coin. Let me check one more project, because ADA was like a fast mover, right? ADA was a very fast mover. Let's check. What's a good project from last cycle?
Or like that performed good. To feature.
Well, I can do dot. Now VeChain was also just like I want like a good performer, but not like the top performers, you know? Just to get a feeling, because most of the top performers, this is a good one. Most of the top performers, they had like one massive spike on that first run and never came back and died off from there. But this is a decent one right here. Let me pull on the candles. And check. So right here, when this thing bottomed, like the bottom of this caused a pump on this, right? Bottom on that caused a pump on that. And then this top also was at the moment we had this distribution on dot. And then this top was right after. That's pretty weird. Why is the others dominance topping so late? That means that probably like your micro caps were just going absolutely crazy. Yeah. And I think it's like late new projects that were launched that just ran up, taking all the market cap from the top, like everything after top 10. Because you can see the others dominance is topping way, way, way after this already went down. This was the all-time high. I'm on the weekly time frame. Like this thing already went down for multiple weeks before the other dominance topped. So it's like, you know? Pretty interesting. Because I remember, let me have one more. I remember Sand. Sand was actually, the reason why I remember Sand so well is because I made a lot of money on this project, but this project was going nuclear when literally the cycle was over. I was like, oh man, I was buying Sand thinking, you know, we were going to go to 100K when I made like a 4X in like 4 days, which was just too crazy for me at that time. But like you can see that this shit pumped October into November. Because Bitcoin topped in November, right? This thing pumped almost into December still, which was just absolutely crazy. But that's also weird. Why is the others dominance topping so late? Crypto total market cap excluding the top 10 dominance. They mean the top 10 coins, right?
Yeah, it's like the top 10 coins in the crypto market.
Yeah, but then why are all the micro caps also dumping before this top being put in? Like what caused this spike? Then you have like nano caps going absolutely nuclear in that last phase of the market. Because the reason why I'm looking at this is because, okay, if we get a rejection from here, which is a very interesting POI to watch, is that truly going to be accurate to be like, yo, this is gonna affect your altcoins? That's why I was comparing altcoins previous cycle to the highs and lows of the others dominance. But it's like, it does have a delay. But either way, it was somewhat, useful. I don't really look at the others dominance chart that much. More like the total, the USDT, the ETH BTC, Bitcoin dominance, those more. But it's definitely an interesting area to look for a rejection that can then also cause a rejection either at the same time or a bit before/later. That was kind of a weird situation to be in. Maybe someone in the chat knows. If I'm not mistaken, that's something. Evening, chaps. Mr. Luby in the house. What's up, brother? Am I able to watch this live stream back later? Yes, sir. You are. You can always watch these back. They get saved on X and on YouTube. Use VeChain. Yeah, VeChain was one of those crazy movers. So I think VeChain spiked a lot and never came back to that high. Hey, study this, Mr. Wyckoff.
Yo guys, I saw a TikTok video predicting that USDT could go from 1 to 5. Honestly, I might agree with that, consider we have been accumulating. Wow. Crazy.
What do you think about the price prediction of USDT going from 1 to 5?
Yeah, man, it's gonna happen.
But like, if we have to be realistic, maybe even 10, no?
20. Stop playing.
Yeah, here
God.
Tyro is saying it. Tyro is saying it. Maybe small caps took over there in Jan. That must be the case, because I was looking at small caps already, right? I was looking at small caps, and they also topped before, so it had to be very small caps, excluding top 10. Yeah, it's because Bitcoin dumped first. Oh, that could be, but like, it's not a pie chart. So if Bitcoin dumped first, that doesn't add market cap to the everything out of the top 10, you know? If it was a pie chart, then it would be, because Bitcoin would lose share, and then the total 3 share would be a bigger percentage. But if it's not a pie chart, then Bitcoin dumping shouldn't, or is this, oh wait, is it calculated in percentages or no? I see percentages here. Do you have another one? Do you have 2?
Yeah, but you also have others.
Oh, but this is a completely different chart. Because if it's a percentage, then it's represented as a pie chart, and then that person can indeed have a valid point. I can't remember what pumped at the end of the cycle in 21. Where did all that liquidity go? Bro, I remember it was gaming. I'm not kidding. Gaming went so nuclear. You had Decentraland, you had Sandbox, you had Engine, you had all these crazy gaming coins going absolutely nuclear. Yeah, all the macro, all the micro caps and shitcoins started to rip crazy. Altcoins went parabolic. Top coins started nuking. Save Moon, yo! I'm getting a deja vu, bro. I'm getting a deja vu. Do you remember Save Moon, bro?
Bro, that shit went nuts. I'm not even joking. That shit, bro.
It's absolutely crazy. That went, bro. And I think like there were issues with cashing out, because you couldn't cash out. It was like a crazy story. I heard people being up 40 million from like $10 investments. It was crazy. Gaming and NFTs were also a big thing. In my opinion, if NFTs, I think you can add NFTs into your exit triggers. If you see NFTs pop off, bro,
2 months.
Like you had, like, do you remember? Like, this goes to show that we're nowhere near this cycle's top from like FOMO perspective. You had Bored Apes going for millions of dollars, bro. Make it make sense.
Bro, study the Retardio NFT. Guys, I have one.
Yeah, can you show us what the Retardio NFT is?
No, I want to... I'm not going to show my one because I want to be private. Because
but just in general. I have no idea, bro. Shout out to Mr. CoinCap Daily. He just joined the VIP. I'm very excited. Guys, for the people that don't know, it's Cyber Monday. You have 3 more hours if you want to have and want to get a VIP subscription with a crazy discount. Okay, I'm gonna send the link in the chat if you guys are interested.
Like, don't you need to tell them what's gonna happen after this Cyber Monday?
It's just everything is going to go more up. Bitcoin is going to go more up. Prices of Discourse are going to go more up. It's like, guys, truly, if you want to join the VIP, it's never going to be as cheap again as you have right now. 33 euros a month. Absolutely disgusting. You guys have to bless Wyckoff Insider. You need a W in the chat for Wyckoff Insider, because I didn't even want to do a SIL in general. I was like, bro, it's already good enough. He was like, nah, we need to do it. And then I listened to Mr. Market Maker, and we have a sell. The community has been growing like absolutely crazy. It's very fun to see. It's getting more packed and packed. Absolutely, people grinding to be better, and it's just a community of driven men who are all striving for the same thing. You know, what's actually stronger than men combining together and keeping each other accountable and studying together. I even got messages, right? I don't know if you know this, Mr. Wyckoff Insider, but I even got messages that they're like people who are like actually getting friendships and like creating friendship with other people from the server that then also like go on like private calls and grind together more and more. So it's like people are actually creating friendships along the way. And you have to realize, guys, this market is designed to make you lose money. That's what this market is for. It's for you to lose money and for the institutions to make money. So what do you think is going to be better? Trying to make everything work on your own, individually, or joining a pact of people having hundreds of eyes on the chart all the time, posting setups, discussing about narratives, discussing about price action, and then coming to a conclusion? Like, that's actually better. It's not that you're like gonna get into an argument in the server. Like, it's an open debate always, and we'll make sure that it always stays that way. No one knows it better than the other. People are humble, they listen, they discuss, they help each other improve. It's an amazing community, and I can't wait to see all of you in it. We're hosting live streams. I absolutely love it, bro. Today, I peaked at around like almost 100 live viewers at a certain point, which is just absolutely crazy. And just discussing local setups, preparing the people to just make money. Just print. You want to print? Join. But tell us about your Retardio NFT.
Yeah, so guys, Retardio, it are the Retardio costumes.
Wait. I'm sorry. And shout out to all the women in the VIP Discord too. Okay? I cannot exclude them. Everything is there. Okay? Man and women. So girls, shout out to you. Shout out to you. You girls are also grinding, striving to be better. It's for both worlds. It's just like it's more a sausage party than it is a woman party. So sometimes I forget. But also shout out to the girls who are grinding.
What are the girls doing when we are full clipping 50 push-ups? What are the girls doing? Like Kra 3, what are you doing when we are full clipping push-ups? Or you joined yesterday, I think. She joined yesterday.
I think she hasn't experienced the push-ups yet.
What need the girls to do?
They can do squats. They can do squats. No?
Study. Oh, they can do squats.
But shout out to the guys and the girls. And now, tell me about your. You really bought an NFT, bro?
Bro, you're gonna laugh at me, but if this is gonna hit like 200 soul, we will talk again. No,
Show
but
me.
like this are the Retardio cousins, so it are these little Retardios, and it's basically that you are a Retardio, so you are gambling, you are just
A retard.
doing. Yeah, you have one guy. He's so funny. Like, do you know him? His name is Mitch. Where is he? All right, I cannot find him, but there's a guy called he's Mitch, and he's showing every day that he's leverage trading and that he has a P&L of min 200k, and then he calls himself he's a Retardio. Like, that's the narrative.
He got banned on X. I'm seeing in the chat now.
Oh, why is Mitch banned on X?
Yo, free Mitch.
Bro, free Mitch. That guy literally he's saying fun. Yeah, today I will get back in the trenches. I will just long. I'm just longing. And then you see 1 hour later, min 500k. Yeah, that guy is crazy. So he calls himself a Retardio. And what is the utility of this NFT? They are gonna open a Retardio casino in the metaverse, and if you hold an NFT, you get paid if people play in that casino. So that's a crazy utility, in my opinion, because at the end of the bull run, when everyone has made money, they will just gamble it away, like they are doing with NFTs. Like, you know the vibe. So Yeah, just holding that thing, and I actually like it, like a retardio. I like the narratives, and the utilities there.
It's it's it does have something, especially, bro. The utility actually seems like a good idea. Obviously, utility is always on debate of like, are they actually ever going to even start that casino before the next bear market? But it's still it's a decent narrative. But can you show me an example of an NFT?
Mm, let me see. This for example is one. Just a
Bro, I haven't
retardio.
even seen yours. You need to send it to me privately. Now I want to know.
Yeah, it's like I have sent it to you back in the days, but you
What's
cannot
the
say
what's the what's the floor price of an NFT now?
I think 20 soul.
20 soul.
But like these guys,
Maybe I'm
it's just
getting one.
I'm a retardio. Like fuck it, just full port. I'm a retardio. Oh, these guys. Like actually,
They
some
should, bro.
NFTs are nice.
Bro, if they could collab with like Red Rock Casino in like Vegas and like host an event where only people that have an NFT can come into the casino, kind of like they do with the Bored Ape yacht clubs, that could be crazy. Because if it's gambling related, the amount of money that is in the gambling industry is not even funny. So if they can for somehow get connections and
What the hell?
it could be insane. It does have some sort of a narrative. Where do you buy this?
Magic Aiden. I buy it.
Magic Aiden. What's that?
Yeah, it's like the same as OpenSea. It's like an NFT marketplace. But
Yeah,
like,
I don't have that good. I don't think I'll ever use OpenSea again.
oh, you got scammed for like how many was it? Like 4K?
Bro, I got scammed. I got hacked. I fell for a fucking phishing scam through OpenSea in like Jan 2023, bro. Yeah, I lost like $5,000 that I had invested. It was invested $5,000. Luckily, it was like on like a sub MetaMask portfolio. And for the people that wonder, like, yo, how did you get scammed? I'm just an idiot. It's like, don't worry that you got scammed. I got an email that someone bid on my NFT, and I had one NFT listed, and I clicked on that link, and they made a duplicate of the real OpenSea website. So I thought I was on the OpenSea, and I connected my MetaMask, and boom, money gone. Send over 100 different addresses. And then when I checked the email, it wasn't from the OpenSea support team. So if you want to double check an email, check on the email that's actually sending it to you, right? Because when I checked it, it was this random ass number email and not like support OpenSea, So it's very easy to detect whether it's a phishing scam or whatsoever. I learned my lesson. I'm happy I learned my lesson with like my sub account on MetaMask, losing $5,000, not $50,000 on an account, which will be worse. But we live and we learn.
Yeah, and it's like, guys, it's so important. Remember, not your keys, not your coins. So just buy I will say buy a treasure and put your coins on that. Yeah, it costs some money, but when you lose like your main wallet, you think, why did I spend like 2 hours installing a treasure? So
Yeah,
you better
literally,
just do
bro.
it. And also, never click on any links. Just do not click on links. First, go to NordVPN URL checker, and then you fill in the link, and then he says if the link is good, and then you can use a link. So never click on a link, and you will be safe. There will nothing happen to your account. Also, your passwords, make sure they are in a safe place. Um, so yeah, just be ready because they will come for your money and they will try to steal it because the world is in a weird place.
Scammers everywhere, guys. So indeed, like you said, you're gonna regret not securing your funds properly and behaving properly when you do end up getting scammed, right? It's listen to us now and avoid the feeling of being mad at yourself for not installing high security that's going to take a day max. Just a day max with like ordering it, installing it, kind of figuring out how it works. Like, come on now, guys. Like, we're talking about a lot of money here that you could lose, depending obviously on your size. But even depending on your size, it can still be a lot of money to you, right? I'm assuming that most of the people here in the live stream are very allocated to crypto, and you do not want to lose that amount, okay? So take some time, study. I think someone in the chat said Tangem, but you do mean Trezor. It's the Trezor wallet, no?
Yeah, I saw some. Yeah, someone was also tagging me in Tangem things. Yeah, it's like something that is protecting your wallets. But I would just always recommend just buy a Trezor, the newest one. Ledgers with Bluetooth on it are also a little bit sketchy. So study why. Yeah, it's getting connected through devices. So there is someone that can look while you are doing it. So you better just the newest Trezor, I would say. Trezor 5.
Yeah, and people talk about Zoom meeting scans. Guys, I'm telling you, I personally right now have 2 laptops because I got a new laptop. Any MetaMask stuff, extensions are on just one laptop, and the other one is where I do all my normal stuff. So I just have it completely separated. You will never catch me press a random ass link on a device that's connected to MetaMask extensions or Phantom or you name it, or even fucking Telegram. Nothing, like absolutely nothing. I have 2 different PCs, but do what you want to do what works for you, and then you should all be good, okay? But like you said, not your keys, not your wallet. Okay, I wanna make a quick recap of my Bitcoin expectations. We've been going for an hour and 70 minutes, or do you have something to talk about with Tia?
Just study this market maker demand zone, and if you get a break of structure, just be on the buttons.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say. You can take Bitcoin.
Yes. Okay, let me add myself to the stage. There we go. So, guys, again, regarding Bitcoin, we are in this range. It's currently developing pretty nicely. We hit the technical target of the distribution, so on the lower time frames, we are in a neutral state right now. This could turn into an accumulation. It could come a bit lower. We have some demand below. We grab supply above. We have a lot of highs now, actually, that are kind of slowly stacking up right here. And this could get a nice buy side liquidity sweep coming into at 100K. We are in this range. It's as of now a 2-day range that's still in the early stages, really compressed. I like it to be a bit more extended, but we're very neutral, okay? We have demand below, we have liquidity above. It can start deviating here. We have to see, we have to be patient. Make sure to study the mentorship, study TA, because if you actually understand TA, you can literally nail this cycle very easily, because the TA and the confirmation from a TA perspective will be there. So enjoy your portfolio. Don't stress about it too much. You should already be allocated to high conviction plays that you are, or that are according to you high conviction plays, because you took accountability and you researched the team, researched the project, whales, wallets, data in the charts, you name it. So you have accountability over your portfolio. That's a high conviction play. Don't start doubting now because XRP and Doge are pumping and you want to switch it into high caps. No, that's exactly why the high caps are pumping. Okay. So you have your high conviction. You learn how to study TA. Now it's never been a more perfect time than right now, because we're going to go into easy mode. All season will be getting crazier and crazier once BTC dominance starts dropping and ETH BTC starts breaking structure. So life is then on easy mode. The only thing that you need to do is figure out how to start scaling out. If you're inside of the Discord community, you can literally already check my post from yesterday, which give you a very good indication as to how you should be scaling out. But in general, TA will tell you everything, and the rest is just extra confluence. Now, after the bull market is over and we start entering the bear market, what are you going to do? You cannot just buy and hope for it to go up. It doesn't work like that. You cannot buy and go up. Yeah, it's going to go down. So the only way when you make money if price goes down is by shorting. And for shorting, you actually need to be able to trade. Okay? You cannot just buy. You can sell, but then you don't make money. You can only make money when you buy back lower and then it goes back up again. So there's going to be a period of a full on year where we're going to go down. So if you just learn how to trade, you can cash out your portfolio at a great time right now in this bull market. Use that money to stack compounded gains every week over and over again, grow that capital, and reallocate that back into the lows for the next cycle. That's exactly the conversation that I had with Mr. Wyckoff Insider in 2022. I was like, we're going to learn how to trade now to stack as much money as we can to go into the new cycle with a big fat stack of cash and a good portfolio. And that's exactly what we did. And you can do the exact same right now. And you can do it and learn it way faster than we did because we were still using indicators and divergences and all that bullshit nonsense that doesn't actually show why price moves the way it does. You have a free mentorship on YouTube made by me where I teach you everything that you need. Okay, everything. So you start studying that. You can join the Discord later on if you like my style of teaching and you like my way of trading and it suits you. And then I'll see the rest of you in the VIP Discord because tomorrow is another trading day of beautiful setups and beautiful new opportunities. You want to finish it up with a quote, brother?
The magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding.
Peace out, guys.